Unseen Billionaire's heartwarming gesture, how a simple hug changed this girl's life forever. Mia Johnson stood on the small stage in Maplewood's community hall, the bright lights shining down like a spotlight on her. Her heart raced as faces blurred into a sea of support. Each person there was part of a town that had embraced her since her father passed. For months, she had poured her heart into school, managing 2 part-time jobs, and fiercely trying to keep her mother's head above water. Today, with the charity event aimed at supporting families like hers, it felt like her turn to give back by sharing her story. Taking a deep breath, Mia's voice quivered as she began. "My life changed forever when I lost my father. I thought we could never smile again." She paused, recalling the warmth of her father's hugs and the laughter they once shared. "But what made it bearable is this community. Each of you has helped my mom and me in ways you'll never know." Tears brimmed in her eyes as the audience sat in rapt silence, fists clenched and hearts aching at her vulnerability. As Mia spoke, a hush fell over the room. She revealed her dreams of attending college, of starting fresh and lifting her family from the financial struggles they faced. The passion in her voice ignited a wave of empathy that echoed across the room. Community members nodded, some dabbing at their eyes with tissues, others holding hands in solidarity. She captured the essence of resilience that Americans clung to, never giving up, fighting against the odds. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But unbeknownst to Mia, her words reached far beyond Maplewood's hall. Just outside the town limits was Mr. Collins, the reclusive billionaire known for keeping to himself. He happened to be listening, curiosity piqued by the whispers of hope emanating from the gathering. Meanwhile, at home, Mia's mother was grappling with pride, fiercely resistant to accepting help, which created an emotional storm between them. Mia wanted to uplift her mother, but her thoughts were tangled in fear of disappointing her. That night, after yet another long day, an argument erupted. "Mom, I just want to make things better. Why can't we accept help for once?" Her mother's weary eyes flashed with tears, and both women stood trembling at the rocky crossroads of tradition and desperation. Just then, a soft knock broke through their tension. It was Mr. Collins. Instead of throwing money at the situation, he offered something far more valuable: a simple hug. In that instant, Mia felt the weight lift slightly, the warmth of understanding washing over her. That embrace stirred a deep courage she forgot she had and flipped a switch in her heart. Now, with her community rallying behind her and an unexpected connection kindled, Mia stood at the edge of a battlefield forged in hope, balancing her family's pride against her yearning dreams. Could a stranger's kindness redefine her path? Would her mother's resolve crack as their home blossomed into a sanctuary rather than a prison of independence? The tension thickened, and the next chapter awaited, ready to unravel the fate that twinkled just like the stars over Maplewood. The days that followed the charity event were a whirlwind of emotions for Mia. She was filled with a surge of hope that had nudged its way into her heart after Mr. Collins' hug. It wrapped around her like a warm blanket, making the chill of anxiety about her future feel a little less biting. For the first time in months, she felt she could see a future that didn't seem so dim. In the mornings, she found herself gazing at the school bulletin board, searching for scholarship opportunities she previously felt too unworthy to apply for. Her heart raced as she dreamt of college. But each time that thought crossed her mind, the image of her mother's weary face crept in, a reminder of the weight still pressing down on them both. "Maybe we could really use some help," Mia whispered to herself one evening as she sat at the kitchen table, poring over the bills scattered before her. Her mother entered, sensing the thickness in the air, not needing to see the numbers to know they were struggling. "Mia, we don't need to talk about this now," her mother said softly, wiping her hands on a dish towel. Let us just make dinner. Mia felt her heart twist at her mother's tone. The small kindness her mother had always shown was now accompanied by a layer of unyielding pride. Mom, what if we accepted help? Just this once. Help? You think we need pity? We don't. The words came out sharper than intended, slicing through the air like a knife. Mia recoiled, hurt flashing through her veins. The two stood locked in an emotional battlefield, a painful dance of love and pride intertwined. Later that week, news of the charity event reached the local newspaper. A photograph of Mia on stage captured her essence perfectly, the light making her look almost ethereal. The headlines praised her poignant story and her resilience. But as her mother flicked through the paper, her face fell rather than lit up with pride. Why did you let them do this? Her mother said, voice trembling. We don't need strangers to feel sorry for us. I'm not trying to shame us, Mia countered, frustration boiling. I just want our story to mean something. That evening, Mia went for a walk to clear her mind, leaving the tension behind her. The stars above twinkled brightly, evoking a sense of wonder. She could hear the soft rustling of leaves, the distant laughter of children as they played on the streets, and the comforting hum of community life. As she wandered, she found herself outside Mr. Collins' estate. A delicate urge blossomed within her, the kind that springs from desperation and courage. Could she share her story with him? Before she could overthink it, she knocked on his gate. The sound echoed through the stillness, each second that passed stretching into an eternity. Just as she contemplated turning back, the door creaked open, and there stood Mr. Collins, a curious and friendly smile on his face. Mia, what a pleasant surprise, he said, the warmth in his voice grounding her. Can we talk? She asked, her heart racing again, but this time it was with determination. Of course, he replied, gesturing her in. As she followed him inside, she felt a shift deep within. This could be the breakthrough she was looking for to bridge the gap between her and her mother. But would it also open the doorway to a deeper understanding of what it meant to accept help? With every step deeper into his world, a flicker of hope ignited, a hope that one small conversation could change everything. But what lay ahead was yet to be revealed. As Mia stepped inside Mr. Collins' home, the light filled the spacious entryway, contrasting sharply with the weight of uncertainty she carried. She followed him into a sunlit room adorned with shelves of books and comfortable furniture. It felt like stepping into another world, one that was so inviting yet distant from her own. Please, have a seat, he said, motioning toward a plush armchair. Mia hesitated briefly before sinking into the softness, feeling slightly out of place yet grateful for the warmth surrounding her. Mr. Collins settled across from her, a slight smile still on his face. What brings you here, Mia? He asked gently, his eyes probing but kind. She breathed in deeply, wanting to gather her thoughts. I wanted to talk about the charity event. About my story. Mr. Collins nodded, encouraging her to continue. Your story is powerful. It resonated with a lot of people. Mia's stomach fluttered with a mix of anxiety and hope. I didn't mean for anyone to feel sorry for us. I just want to figure out how to help, my mom and me. We're struggling. And it feels like I'm stuck. The kindness in his eyes deepened. Struggling is part of life for many. But reaching out for help doesn't mean you're weak, Mia. It shows strength. Tears threatened to spill, but Mia blinked them back. She hadn't expected this response. For the first time, someone wasn't judging her mother's pride or their situation. But what if accepting help changes everything? What if it doesn't just solve our problems, but I don't know, shifts everything between us? Transformations can be scary, Mr. Collins replied, leaning forward slightly. But think of it this way, when you share your burden, you lighten the load. You might even inspire your mother to see things differently. Mia absorbed his words, letting his wisdom wash over her. It felt like a breath of fresh air, filling her with energy she hadn't realized she needed. I guess I'm afraid, she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't want Mom to feel like I'm turning my back on her or that we've failed. Accepting help from others doesn't mean you failed. It means you're brave enough to recognize you can't do it all alone, he said softly, his tone reassuring. Trust me, everyone needs help at some point. Mia's heart beat faster. Hope fluttered in her chest, fueled by a newfound perspective. What if I applied for scholarships? What if I let people in? The idea sparked within her, bold and bright against the backdrop of her fears. Exactly, he encouraged, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. If you take this first step, you can open doors for your future and your mother's. You only need the courage to go for it. As their conversation flowed, Mia found herself sharing details she hadn't dared to voice before. The pressure she felt about college, her dreams, and the unspoken expectations of her mother poured out of her like a dam breaking. Mr. Collins listened intently, and with each word, Mia felt lighter, as if shedding layers of doubt and fear. When the afternoon sun dipped lower, casting shadows around the room, she knew she needed to take the next step. Can you help me get started? I mean, with the scholarships or anything. Of course, he said, his eyes sparkling with encouragement. Let us work on a plan. You have so much potential, Mia, let's unleash it. Mia beamed, a feeling of warmth enveloping her as she pictured a future stitched together with hope and possibility. But amid that warmth lingered a question: would her mother accept this help, or would it spark more resentment? The uncertainty hung over her like a storm cloud, a reminder that every action has a reaction. As they crafted a plan together, Mia couldn't shake the fear that lay beneath her new excitement. What if, in reaching for her dreams, she only pushed her mother away further? Mia hoped she could bridge that gap, but in doing so, would she risk losing her most important connection? The question tugged at her heart as she stepped back into the world outside, the weight of both hope and fear resting heavily on her shoulders. What would it take to reconcile both her desires and her mother's pride? The sunlight cast long shadows across the street as Mia stepped outside Mr. Collins' home, the brisk air hitting her face like a splash of cold water. She paused for a moment, eyes fixed on the horizon, thoughts swirling. Here she was, a flurry of conflicting emotions, hope tugging at one end, fear the other. The crispness of the day felt charged, electric, alive with potential. As she walked, her mind raced with the possibilities that lay ahead. The scholarship applications, the support, the breath of fresh air she could finally take. But with every step, the image of her mother filled her thoughts, palpable and heavy. Would she understand? Would she resent Mia for wanting change, for wanting to reach for something beyond their reach? Mia felt her chest tighten at the thought. It didn't help that her mother had always worn the weight of their struggles like armor, a fierce protection against the outside world. Since her dad left, they had been a team unwavering, unbreakable. Stopping at a park bench, she took a deep breath, trying to steady the storm inside. Memories flooded in, late nights spent studying with her mom by her side, insisting she had to go to college, despite their financial woes. Every encouraging word spoken echoed in her mind. You can do anything, Mia. You're strong. But what about now, as her desires started to diverge from her mother's expectations? A sudden voice broke her reverie. Mia. Hey there. It was Sam, her classmate. He jogged up, his brow glistening with sweat from basketball practice. You okay? You looked deep in thought. Mia offered a small smile, grateful for the break in her spiraling thoughts. Yeah, just thinking about some stuff. Big stuff. Like the charity event. Sam leaned against the bench, his casual demeanor putting her at ease. Sort of, she replied, her heart fluttering with the urge to share, but she hesitated. What if he didn't understand? I want to apply for scholarships, to help my mom and me. But it feels complicated. Sam nodded, his eyes bright with interest. That's amazing. You'll crush it. I believe you can do anything. His belief felt like a lifeline, the warmth of his words piercing through her doubt. Thanks, Sam, Mia said softly. Sometimes I just wish, it didn't have to be such a big deal. What if my mom doesn't want me to? Have you talked to her about it? Sam asked. There was sincerity in his tone, he genuinely wanted to help. Mia sighed, resting her head in her hands. I don't know how she'll react. Change terrifies her and me. I just want her to be proud, but I also need to think about my future. Sam paused, considering her words. Maybe you just need to show her that this isn't about leaving her behind. It's about moving forward together. His suggestion sparked something inside her. Mia's heart raced again, hope battling fear. What if he was right? Maybe, just maybe, she could find a way to bridge that gap. Yeah, maybe. I just hope she sees that, Mia replied, her voice stronger now. She glanced at the faint outline of Mr. Collins' house in the distance, feeling a flicker of courage. She thought about the plans they'd discussed, formulating scholarship essays, searching for opportunities, and how it could change everything. Sam stood, brushing off his shorts. Hey, if you need support, I'm here. Seriously. I can help with the essays or whatever. You're not alone in this. Mia felt sudden warmth bloom in her chest. Thank you, Sam. That means a lot. As they started walking back towards school, Mia felt a sense of determination building within her. It was as if she were standing at the edge of a new beginning, one that could lead to a different future not just for herself but for her mother, too. But buried beneath that exciting prospect was the nagging question, would her mother accept this journey? Would Mia be able to face the possibility of disappointment if she didn't? With each step, the weight of uncertainty loomed, yet so did the ember of hope. Would she find the right words to start this difficult conversation? Would her mother hear her heart? As these thoughts swirled, Mia clenched her fists, ready to take on whatever came next. The real challenge lay ahead, and she braced herself for the moment she would choose to speak her truth. Would it lead her to freedom, or push her mother further away? The sun hung low in the sky as Mia made her way back toward school, her mind still buzzing with ideas. The light warmed her face, but the chill of uncertainty clung to her like a shadow. Each step felt heavier, weighed down by what she needed to do, but also buoyed by Sam's encouragement. As they entered the school grounds, laughter erupted from a nearby group of students. Their joy was infectious, but Mia could only manage a weak smile. She didn't want to burst their bubble or bring her worries into their carefree lives. Sam noticed her silence and nudged her lightly. Hey, want to grab lunch together later? Brainstorm some ideas. That would be great, Mia replied, grateful that he was sticking by her side. Just the thought of having someone to bounce off ideas gave her a flicker of hope. The bell rang, and they drifted towards their respective classes. Mia's mind was a turbulent sea as she settled into her seat. Her English teacher began discussing the upcoming essay assignments, but her thoughts kept drifting back to her mother. How would she even begin? Would her mother allow her to dream, or would she feel abandoned? Hours melted away, and the lunch bell rang like a siren, pulling Mia out of her spiraling thoughts. She met Sam outside the cafeteria, where the smell of fries and burgers wafted through the air. Ready to tackle your essay? He asked, tossing a crumpled napkin into a trash can. Sort of. More like trying to figure out how to talk to my mom about it, Mia admitted, her heart racing. Let us figure it out together, Sam said, leading her to a nearby table. He flipped open his notebook and pulled out a pen. Okay, what do you want to say? Mia took a deep breath, but the words felt stuck in her throat. How could she explain her dreams when every inch of her felt like it was tethered to her mother? I want to tell her that college is important to me, that I want to help us, but I don't want her to think I'm leaving her behind. Sam jotted down notes, listening intently. What if you tell her you want to carry on the legacy she built? That it's not about escaping, but building a better future together? Mia's heart raced. That might work. She wished it were that simple. But the fear loomed larger. What if her mother didn't take it well? What if she felt betrayed? The image of her mother's face, lined with worry and exhaustion, crept into her mind. "Hey," Sam said, his voice steady. "Just remember, you're not alone. I'll be there when you talk to her. You've got this." Mia looked into his eyes, finding a spark of encouragement. "Thank you, Sam. That means a lot." The rest of lunch became a flurry of ideas and notes, Sam tossing suggestions back and forth as Mia began to map out her thoughts. For the first time, there was an excitement swelling within her. She could see a path forward. As they wrapped up, Sam's grin was infectious. "This is gonna be epic, Mia." But as they rose, a weight settled back in Mia's gut. Would her mother even listen? Could she bridge that chasm? The days stretched ahead of her, and each second felt like ticking clockwork. When the final class ended, Mia's heart pounded as she made her way home. The familiar sight of their small house greeted her, and the nerves twisted in her stomach. She stepped inside, the smell of dinner wafting through the air. Her mom was in the kitchen, stirring a pot on the stove, humming softly. Mia's chest tightened. This was it. As she cleared her throat, ready to spill her heart, she remembered Sam's words. It wasn't about leaving, it was about moving forward. "Mom." She called, hesitant yet determined. But just as she was about to step closer, her mother turned suddenly, a concerned expression on her face. "Mia? Everything okay?" And at that moment, she knew she had to find her voice, to brave the conversation that could change everything. Would love and hope be enough to keep them together through this? As she took a deep breath, she pondered whether she was ready for what came next, the words floating just at the edge of her lips. Mia's heart raced. She felt as if the air between them thickened, each second stretching longer than the last. Her mother's gaze searched her face, looking for clarity in a moment that felt like it was drowning in confusion. I wanted to talk to you about something," she stammered, her voice wavering. The smell of dinner hung like a comforting blanket, but all she could feel was the chill of uncertainty creeping back in. Her mother set the spoon down and wiped her hands on a dish towel, giving Mia her full attention. "What is it, honey? You look serious." Mia gulped hard, trying to steady herself. This was it. Every conversation she had rehearsed now blended into a single overwhelming thought: how do you approach dreams that feel so far away when the person you love the most might not understand? "Mom, I've been thinking about college," she finally began, her words tumbling out. "I want to go. I believe it can help us, help our future." Her mother's expression shifted slightly, and Mia could see the flicker of worry crossing her face. She pushed on, desperation edged into her voice. "I want to make something of myself, to build more than what we have now. But I don't want you to think I'm abandoning you. I can't. I just want to carry on everything you've worked for. This isn't about leaving, it's about growing." Tension filled the room. Mia's pulse thundered in her ears. She watched her mother's brows furrow deep as if the weight of Mia's words had landed heavily in her heart. "Mia," her mother started, voice soft but firm. "I've always wanted the best for you. I fear losing you. It's been just us for so long." "I know, and I love that," Mia urged, desperation clawing at her throat. "But I can't be stuck in this house forever, Mom. I need to see what else is out there. I want to build a life that honors everything you've sacrificed for me. Please, just let me explore with your blessing." Tears glimmered in her mother's eyes. It was the moment of vulnerability Mia had dreaded, the fear of her mother breaking down under the possibility of loss. But instead, her mom stepped closer, and wrapped her arms around Mia, pulling her tight. "I don't want to hold you back," she whispered, voice cracking. "It scares me more than anything, but I want you to chase your dreams. You have my blessing even if it's hard." Mia felt warmth flood through her. The hug surrounded her like a shield, dissolving the knots of fear that had tightened within her. "Thank you, Mom," she murmured into her shoulder. "I promise I won't forget where I came from." As they stood there, a wave of relief washed over Mia. This moment felt like the beginning of something incredible. The barriers between them began to dissolve, replaced by a new understanding. "I just want you to be safe and happy," her mom said gently, pulling back to look into Mia's eyes, a softness replacing her earlier worry. "Let us make a plan together." Mia's heart soared. "Really? You'll help me?" "Of course. We're in this together," her mother replied, a small smile breaking through the trepidation. The two of them spent the next hour talking through ideas, brainstorming options, and even laughing at possibilities that felt outlandish at first. Suddenly, the future didn't seem as daunting. But as they mapped out a tentative plan, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. What if stepping into the unknown would reveal unforeseen challenges? What if her mother struggled more than anticipated? And even as laughter filled their kitchen, Mia's smile faltered for just a moment, the lingering worry fluttering like a small bird trapped in her heart. What awaited them in this new chapter? Mia bit her lip, her heart whispering that she wasn't done moving forward yet. Mia dove headfirst into the planning, scribbling down ideas in her worn-out notebook as if each word could create a bridge to her dreams. They bounced ideas off each other, her mother's initial hesitations fading as Mia's enthusiasm ignited an energy in the room. "What do you think about a community college first?" her mother suggested, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. "It could save us some money, and you can take time to decide your major." Mia nodded, the concept feeling like a soft landing pad rather than a step backward. "That could work. I could even live at home, save more money." But then a tiny voice reminded her of the independence she craved, the urge to roam beyond her four walls. Their laughter echoed in the kitchen, and the smell of baked chicken lingered, forming a cozy cocoon. It felt warm, like home. But beneath the laughter, the reality of Mia's leaving started weaving a thread of anxiety throughout her excitement. The next day at school, Mia found herself lost in thoughts. Her classes drifted past her, but amidst the overwhelming talk about majors and scholarships, her heart nudged her in the direction of the cafeteria. She spotted Anna, her best friend, sitting with their group, laughter bursting around their table like fireworks. Mia slid into a seat next to her, trying to paint a smile on her face. "Mia. You're so serious today," Anna exclaimed, tossing her a fry. "What's up?" Mia chuckled lightly but then felt a heaviness settle in her stomach. "I talked to my mom about college, and we sort of made a plan, but I'm a little scared." Anna leaned forward, concern washing over her. "What do you mean? You've always wanted this." "I know. But what if I change? What if I become someone she can't recognize?" Mia's voice dropped, the words spilling out before she could hold them back. "Dude, that's normal. Everyone evolves. What matters is that you stay you, wherever you go." The sincerity in Anna's voice hit Mia deep. She looked around at her friends, the weight in her heart lightening slightly. These moments, these faces, they mattered just as much as chasing dreams. Later that evening, as Mia settled into bed, her mind raced with possibilities. She felt an ache to hold on to her past, yet her heart thudded with excitement for what could be. Her dreams sparkled like stars, she reached for them but dared not let go of what was real. The next days turned into weeks, each filled with brainstorming sessions with her mother and late-night chats with Anna. They mapped out classes and researched financial aid, and Mia's confidence began to swell. She even ventured to apply for a couple of scholarships. But underlying this burst of ambition, Mia's worry kept surfacing. With every step she took closer to her dreams, the distance from her life at home grew. Would her mother be okay? Would Anna be just a phone call away when she needed her the most? Then one afternoon, just as the sun began to set, Mia overheard her mom on the phone, speaking quietly. Curiosity piqued, she crept closer, catching snippets of her mom's conversation. "I just hope she knows I'm happy for her, but it's going to be hard." Mia's heart twisted painfully. Her mother's strength was unwavering, but the fragility of her feelings struck her like a bolt. But what she didn't expect was the sense of determination that surged within her. If she was going to step into the unknown, she would do it for both of them. It wasn't just about her anymore. It was about their journey together, one that could lead to new possibilities and fresh starts. With a newfound clarity, Mia took a deep breath, realizing the leap ahead didn't mean leaving it all behind. Maybe she wouldn't just build a life for herself, but a life where both of their dreams could flourish. Little did she know, her next move would change everything. Mia woke up to the sound of her alarm blaring, pulling her from a deep sleep filled with dreams of vibrant college campuses and friendships. She rolled over, squinting at the sunlight that streamed through her window. Today was the day she would meet with her guidance counselor, a step that felt nearly monumental. The knot in her stomach twisted tighter with each passing moment. After breakfast, she grabbed her notebook, filled with scrawled notes and wild ideas, and headed out. The drive to school felt longer than usual, the quiet morning air filled with her swirling thoughts. What if she changed her mind about her major? What if the counselor suggested something completely different, something Mia hadn't even considered? The weight of uncertainty pressed down on her. Once at school, Mia hurried past the familiar faces, offering quick smiles to friends, trying to project the confidence she didn't quite feel. She reached the guidance office, her heart racing like it was training for a marathon. As she entered, her counselor, Mr. Thompson, greeted her with a warm smile. "Mia. I've been looking forward to our chat," he said, motioning for her to sit. His enthusiasm was contagious, and she felt a flicker of her own excitement. They began discussing her interests and dreams, the conversation flowing easily as she shared her thoughts about community college and potential majors. Mr. Thompson actively listened, nodding and jotting down notes. "I see so much potential in you, Mia," he said, leaning forward. "It's normal to feel scared. Embracing change is what makes life exciting. You're taking a bold step, and that's commendable." Feeling a wave of encouragement, Mia shared her worries about leaving home, about her mother, and about remaining connected to her best friend. Mr. Thompson offered insights, suggesting ways to maintain those connections even when she moved on. "But remember," he said gently, "college is also a time to explore who you are on your own. It's a journey, not just a destination." Heavy with contemplation, Mia spent the rest of the day grappling with his words. The blend of excitement and apprehension danced in her chest, keeping her awake during her final period. Later, she found herself at home, mindlessly flipping through her notebook. The pages felt alive under her fingers, bustling with ideas and aspirations. She realized how much had been wrapped up in her plan, and perhaps, she needed to rethink what success looked like. That evening, dinner with her mother took on a new air. Mia shared the highlights of her meeting, her voice animated as she recalled Mr. Thompson's encouragement. Her mother listened intently, a proud smile spreading across her face, but Mia could still see the lingering concern in her eyes. "What if you don't like it?" her mother asked, a hint of worry threading through her voice. Mia hesitated, the past week's discussions swirling in her mind. "What if I do? What if it pushes me to grow in ways I can't imagine right now?" Her mother seemed to digest the thought, her gaze drifting out the window. "I just want you to be happy, Mia. I want you to thrive." The word struck a chord deep within Mia, stirring the determination she felt earlier. "I will, Mom. I promise to make the most of it, for both of us." That night, she laid awake for hours, imagining what her life could look like beyond the familiar walls of her home. A sense of adventure tugged at her heart, defined by the dream of experiences and opportunities. But amidst that thrill, doubt still lingered in the back of her mind. It was a battle between the safety of home and the excitement of the unknown. As she stared at the ceiling, she felt the weight of her ambitions and fears swirling within her. Tomorrow would bring decisions that could shift her world, but how could she clarify her path when everything still felt so tangled? Little did she know, a surprising encounter awaited her, one that would change everything she thought she knew about support and friendship. As the sun crept over the horizon the next day, Mia woke with a fresh sense of determination. She couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was about to happen. She threw off her covers and took a moment to breathe deeply, reminding herself that she could navigate whatever lay ahead. After breakfast, with her mother still busy in the kitchen, Mia made her way to school, her heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. As she approached the front doors, she spotted a crowd gathered outside. Curiosity prickled her, urging her to move closer. "Hey, what is going on?" she called out to Lena, a friend from her math class. Lena turned, her eyes wide with excitement. "They're giving away scholarships today. A local billionaire is here to help students get a step closer to college. It's kind of a big deal." Mia's heart raced. A scholarship could change everything for her family, especially with college looming ahead. But as she scanned the crowd, doubt crept in. Could she even stand out in such a sea of students? "Let us go." Lena pulled her hand, and Mia found herself swept into the gathering. Voices buzzed with hope and nervous energy. Suddenly, a tall figure emerged from the throng, a man in a tailored suit with striking features and an easy smile. The air shifted, charged with a sense of purpose. "Everyone!" he called out, his voice booming but friendly. "I'm here because I believe in you. I believe in your potential, your dreams. Let us make them happen together." Mia was captivated, almost forgetting to breathe. She noticed the sincerity in his words, so different from the typical speeches she had heard. This wasn't just another figure at the podium, he seemed genuinely invested in each student's journey. As he spoke, Mia felt her earlier apprehensions slowly lift. Hope washed over her. He was laying out plans for accessible scholarships, internships, and mentorships for students like her. Yet, in the midst of excitement, she wrestled with a feeling of unworthiness. Why would someone like him care about someone like her? After the speech, the crowd began to disperse, eager to find out more about the scholarships. Mia took a deep breath and turned to Lena. "Do you want to go ask him some questions?" "Absolutely," Lena replied, her enthusiasm contagious. As they moved closer, Mia's heart pounded in the presence of the man who had inspired so many. But just as she began to muster the courage to approach, someone bumped into her. It was a girl, her face flushed with excitement. "Wow, I never thought I'd actually meet him," the girl exclaimed. "I'm going to ask him for advice on my art portfolio. I've been so worried about getting into my dream school." Watching her, Mia felt a twinge of longing. She wanted to share her own dreams with him too. But could she take that step? As the moment stretched on, they reached the front of the line where the billionaire spoke one-on-one with students. Mia watched him embrace each scholar with genuine warmth, listening to their hopes and fears. One simple touch, a hug even, seemed to uplift them like a feather caught in a gentle breeze, igniting passions and desires that had lain dormant. When it was finally Mia's turn, her knees quaked. But deep within, she clung to the understanding that this was her moment and opportunity to share her fears and aspirations. She took a deep breath, ready to step forward, but as she did, she caught sight of the student beside her, pouring out her heart in a burst of emotion. Should she wait? Or should she seize this chance now? Mia's heart raced as she grappled with her next move. Would reaching out to this stranger lead to the support she so desperately sought? Or would she hold back and let this chance slip away? Gathering every ounce of courage, Mia stepped forward. The world around her faded, the bustling voices, the laughter, and the anxiety of the other students melted away. She locked eyes with the billionaire, Mr. Collins, who had already given so many hope. "Hi," Mia began, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm Mia. I want to go to college, but I'm really scared." Mr. Collins tilted his head, a warm, understanding smile blooming on his face. "Fear is natural, Mia. But sharing your dreams can lessen that fear. What are you most passionate about? Caught off guard by his kindness, something within Mia sparked. I want to help my family, and I want to do something meaningful in the world. But sometimes it feels so overwhelming. I don't want to disappoint my mom. His gaze softened. You are brave for even sharing that. Every big journey starts with wanting to make a change, and it's commendable that you care about your family so much. Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her, as if she was shedding the weight that had clung to her for so long. I've been applying for scholarships, and my mom and I are figuring things out together. But it's hard. Life often is, he replied gently. But embracing support doesn't diminish your strength. In fact, it amplifies it. Would it help if I guided you through the scholarship process? I think you have incredible potential, and it's time to invest in yourself. A grin lit up Mia's face as hope poured into her heart. Really? You would help me? I would love that. Just then, Mr. Collins leaned closer and spoke with a sincerity that resonated. You have a powerful story, Mia. This community would be proud to hear it. When you showcase that strength, others will rally around you, just like they did today. Let us not just seek help, let us build a community together. As they talked, Mia realized she wasn't just an individual student seeking assistance, she was a part of a tapestry woven with others' stories, hopes, and dreams. Each person mattered, each narrative had a place in the bigger picture. Thank you, Mr. Collins, she said, her heart soaring. I believe I can do this now, and that I won't disappoint my mom. With his encouragement swirling around her, she felt rejuvenated, as if the warmth of that moment could carry her through the most difficult times. When she looked for her mom that evening, she found her sitting at the kitchen table, lost in thought. Mom, Mia began, heart pounding, I talked to Mr. Collins today, and he is going to help me with the scholarships. Her mother's eyes widened. He is really going to help you? Yes. And he believes in me, Mom. It's a sign that we can work through this together. The pride that flickered in her mother's gaze warmed Mia from the inside out. If he believes in you, then you have everything to succeed. In that moment, the tension that had once filled their home began to dissolve. Mia scooted closer to the table. We can tackle this as a team, just like we've always done. Her mom nodded, and together they started sketching plans: a community college nearby, potential extracurricular activities, and ways to keep Mia anchored amidst change. But it wasn't just about academics anymore, it was about rebuilding their relationship, molding their future forged from understanding and support. As weeks rolled into months, college applications marked milestones of growth. The sweat of hard work beckoned possibilities while old fears constantly whispered in the background. But each day, Mia found herself leaning into an evolving landscape filled with endless opportunities. With every passing week, Mia and her mom delved deeper into discussions, releasing doubts and replacing them with concrete dreams. The shared laughter and memories blossomed into an inviting space filled with love rather than fear of imminent loss. Every scholarship application, every late-night study session, every hug they shared became a thread woven tight, a tapestry of their journey, illustrating their bond stronger and richer than ever before. When Mia received her first acceptance letter to community college, she burst into tears, engulfed in joy as her mother swept her into an embrace. Together they cried tears of happiness, relief, and pride. Together, they had navigated an emotional landscape, transforming fear into strength, breaking down walls, and crafting new beginnings. The shared journey had ignited a glow within both their hearts. They learned that moving forward didn't mean leaving, it instead fostered growth together. Months later, standing on the precipice of a new chapter, Mia beamed with ambition and vitality. She had finally embraced her dreams alongside her mother, cementing the beliefs they carried into both their futures. And as they looked ahead, they knew they weren't just stepping into the unknown, they were paving the path together, two forces weaving life's fabric, intertwined in love and promise. This was only the beginning. It was time to live fully, embrace change, and inspire each other onward. Now is your moment. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that will uplift and inspire you. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep this momentum going. It really helps more than you know. Comment your reactions and feelings about Mia's transformative journey. We want to hear your thoughts. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and hope. You need to share this message. Don't wait not even one more second. Show your support, because only true fans understand the importance of standing together in this community.